Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's live stream. How are you keeping? Hope you're all doing well. I'm just clearing up around my feet here because there's stuff everywhere at the minute. But, so, how have we all been doing? I hope you're a bit drier than it is here in Ireland at the moment. Well, the southern part of it, anyway. We have a weather warning, so if my video starts going up and down, that's probably what the issue is. But I hope you're all well other than that. I'm just checking to see that the notification actually go that we are live. Yes, we are live. So there we go. So hopefully people will start strolling in. I am only home. I was up in the north where I managed to catch up with my buddy Gary Hall and have a bit of a chat with him. And I believe, well, I know, he went off to the Enniskillen Castle and was wandering around there for a while. So I believe he had a good time there at that. So that's about it. Sorry, I hear when there's stuff under my feet and it really annoys me. So yeah, so there we go. I really need to bring in my tall chair again because this one's very low. But so yeah, so Gary was at the Enniskillen Castle. I met up with him today with his young fella. Always good to catch up with them. We discussed some ideas I have about videos, so we'll see how that pans out. Steel Helmet Stan, good evening, Mr. Shanahan. Hello, Steel Helmet Stan, how are you? I hope you're keeping well. I know you had a busy weekend last weekend with birthday parties and stuff like that. So I hope all was good. I actually learned my lesson to get a non-marked bottle and drink my beverage from that. It's water, YouTube, just in case. But therefore, I don't have to keep telling them every time what I am drinking. Because they seem to like to pick on my lives for some reason. We've been booted a few times for, I don't know, no real bad reasons, but we've been booted. Yeah, and I started a new job this week at the same company. Oh, cool. What are you doing, Stan? Are you doing anything mental? Jake, all right, me old mucker. Hello, how are you? Miles Martian, Jake Andrew Brown. That's a new name. I haven't seen that one around before. But yeah. Joel. Oh, Joel. How are you? So yeah, I will be at the where will I be? I'll be at We Have Way show in September. It is confirmed I will be there. I will be there, and that's about it really. Production engineering technician. I unlock the toilets. So yeah, so we will be there doing second SAS at the We Have Ways festival or show, I suppose we want to call it. I will maybe at Aidencroft in August. That has to be confirmed, but then that's my end of my shows for the summer. But I have been talking to a few friends and some people up around the north that I know. As I said, I was in Enniskillen today. We were chatting and talking about doing some videos around there. I was also up around Oma, talking to some people up around there about doing some videos. So for the off season, that's what the plan is. His plan is to try and have as many videos logged as possible, documentary style videos logged as possible for the winter season and for the summer season. So yeah. Collecting wise, nothing really major is happening in the collecting. I've been trying to streamline the collection, so we're sort of sticking with Op Banner and things like that. So it will be First World War, Munster Fusiliers. Second World War will be my SAS stuff, impression. Op Banner Falklands and Australian Vietnam. So that's where the videos will be sort of staying. We'll still be doing a bit of Irish history, but we won't be straying too much. I do have my own a private collection of West and East German Cold War stuff, but I don't know if there'll be much stuff on the videos about that because that's Stan's area of expertise and some other guy's area of expertise. So I used to put the SH in on to IT on it, and it works. Toilets are always blocked. Disaster today. Denex MP41 loose barrel. J glued it solid, but managed to glue the sling bracket to the wrong side. Cannot get it off. Get the Dremel out and just cut it off. I reckon I'm a certified idiot. Well, you do have 4 years degree in boiler making, so currently in the hot tub because I'm classy. I presume, Jake, that you are very, very classy. You are, Sir James Timbury. Yeah, so that's pretty much what the focus of the channel is. In the new year, fingers crossed, the new house will be finished, where I have my own designated room, so we can actually lay out the collection and have it properly done. I know I have shelves here and I have shelves behind me and stuff like that, but and I have my mannequins here and here. But I do have two more I have two more full size mannequins, and I have two full size mannequins, and I have 3 torsos. So in the new room, in the new area, we should be able to fit all those items into it and have a proper display. So we can do a tour of that and things like that. There is another thing that I need to ask you is if you can please do it. I don't know if any of you have done it already. Is there's a little chap up the north. He's I'm not going to tell you who he is or mention his name because he's underage. He's only starting off in the hobby. But he has a little YouTube channel called Command Bunker, and he collects Vietnam equipment. And I've been able to give him some stuff, or been able to source him some stuff for his little museum. So just give him a like and a follow on YouTube. I think he was telling me that he's around 60 something subscribers. So if we could try and get him to 100, nothing major. I have 1,000 and something subscribers. If we can get him to 100, it wouldn't be too bad, and we'll see how he goes from there. So while you're here now, go flip over and go subscribe to Command Bunker. Nice little chap, young fella, only starting out in the hobby. So give him a like. He's collecting Vietnam stuff as well. Some of you might find it interesting. And for a young guy, he actually knows his stuff, so it's very, very good. As an old mate used you say, that lad has a heart of gold. Not but butter. I tried to do a tour of my house, but the spider webs tangled me, and I was fair game for their supper, so I had to retreat. Just pop in to chat for now, fellas. No problem, Jake. You're always more than welcome. I already subbed to the Command Bunker. Yes, please, guys. So please go sub to this Command Bunker. He's a nice little chap. He's only a young fella, and as I said, he's starting off in the hobby. He's starting off collecting, and he's starting off doing YouTube. So it's a big bad world out there. So just try and give him a little sub just to help him on his way. And in fairness, I think he's I can't remember exactly, but it's less than a year he's been collecting, and he has already a nice little collection of equipment already sorted and going. And in Ireland, the Vietnam genre, shall we say, the Vietnam collecting source, obviously in Ireland, it's hard enough to try and get. Second World War is not too hard to find if you're near the border, because obviously they were involved in the Second World War. But First World War, Second World War, and off banner stuff are easy-ish source in Ireland. You can find them. No, they're not. I'm not saying they're easy to find, but they're easy-ish source. But to try and start collecting Vietnam items in this country, you're obviously it's eBay and sources and suppliers to get it into the country, because you're not going to find it at car boots. Well, you possibly could, but if you're very very lucky, find it at car boot sales and things like that. But yeah, it's all got to be bought in from suppliers and from other sources and things like that. Um, Jim Timber, when I viewed your house tour, I noticed a lot of women's clothing laid about. There, are you in? Are you all in men's sizes? As I said, I've been away for the few days, and I haven't had much to catch up on some YouTube stuff. I need to do some filming. There will be a video tomorrow, Falklands off banner type video, and there will be a video Sunday as well. So stay tuned, and we'll see what comes up. How have you all been anyway? How has everyone been? I know we've been up in a heap the last few weeks with the live streams going ahead and not going ahead and stuff, and moving them to the Sundays and things like that. It's just been hectic. Life has gotten in the way. Thankfully, we're calm now for a few weeks, so we should be able to get back on stream, get things managed again. As I said, I'm going to. Once I started selling, and started moving on items from my collection, that I don't use anymore, I don't need, and to try and streamline the collection into what it started off was off banner. I'm just looking here. I got my RUC helmets on top of RUC helmets, PSNI. It's crazy. So we're going streamlining, as they say. Got a pair of old French binoculars that were military style for £9, 8 by magnification, and they are spot on. I have binoculars. I have two sets. I got one off Gary, and Stan kindly gifted me a set. And that reminds me, is I need to post those bloody boxes. I have boxes here that I need to post. One is to Stan, one is to Jim, and one is to a guy in England. So yeah, I need to get rid of those. Still understand those are leftovers from the naked parties that I host in the village. Nobody leaves my house fully clothed. Also got doing a scrim setup I got from David. Oh, you're scrimming up something, yeah? Oh, okay. This old helmet. Hi all. Hope everyone is doing well. Hello, this old helmet. How are you? Yeah, we're all fine. We're all happy. As I said, the live streams have been up and down and here and there and everywhere. So hopefully we'll get them back on stream and back on stream, back going the correct direction, upwards and onwards. As I said, I will be in England in September for the We Have Ways show. So if any of you are there, come along and pop along and say hello. The other thing I want you to do is I want you all to subscribe, or anyone that watches this video, please go and look at Command Bunker's videos. He's a small young fella chap starting off in the hobby and starting off on YouTube. So if you could please go and join his YouTube channel. Command Bunker it's called. It would be very very much appreciated as well also, guys. So yeah, everyone is saying good day to this old helmet. But yeah, I did a poll, as I said, I did a poll on YouTube, and people seem to want to do more off banner stuff. Off banner World War II, World War One, and Irish history. That's the way it went, I think, off the top of my head. So that's what I need to do. I sub to the young kid. Very cool. Thanks very much. So that's what I need to do. That's what people want. So that's what we will be doing. And I will be doing show videos and stuff like that. Doing a small bit of Irish history because they're popular as well. I'm actually in the market for a couple more DX. Unsure what. Nothing exotic or too pricey. Oh, if I had the money, what would I get? See, I don't know what you have, Stan. I know you have you an SMLE and a Mark IV. I would go for the next. So if you, I would try and have, if I would try and have a timeline, depending. Now, just hear me out. So if you have an SMLE and if you have a Mark IV, I would either go for a Martini, which would be the one before, or a Longley, which would be the one before the SMLE. Then I would, if you had one of them, I would go for a Martini. If you didn't have a Martini, if you didn't want to go that direction, I'd go the other direction and get an SLR. That's the way I'd go if I was you. But there we go. Still Hammerstan. What about Webley Revolver? Yeah, another good one. What about a Shalom, Danny Reese from Herefordshire Regimental Museum. How are you? What's going on here? I've got all them rifles. Yeah, see, me and Danny actually, and it's very, very popular. Me and actually Danny is a lucky chap in the fact that he literally has every rifle from the Zulu Wars to Afghanistan, and I think he might even have a brown bess somewhere. So he could technically do from the Napoleonic Wars. Did he have a brown bess? I can't remember actually. Now it's been so long. I must look up that video because that is a quite popular video. Brown bess all the way to Afghanistan, which is very, very cool timeline. Yes to both. 2K98s, PPS 43, Bren, Beretta, then Denex, PPS H41, MP41. I think maybe Mosin Nagant rifle. Yes, Mosin Nagant would be cool as well. Getting a matchlock next. No, Danny, don't go to that Civil War muck. Don't go there. No, come back to the light, Danny. Stay away from them dark people. Say no to toy guns, always the real Steve. You see, I would agree with you, but unfortunately, in certain countries like mine, you can't always get the real thing. You have to get the Denexus and the airsoft stuff and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I'm very tempted to get a Swiss obsolete caliber, so I can cycle in our drones. Yeah. See, I don't know how that law works in England. The obsolete calibers, because there's some lunatic somewhere in some part of the country or some part of the world making obsolete calibers. I mean, when you think about it, when you look at the stuff that happened in Afghanistan, the Americans and the Brits were finding lads with Springfield rifles. There was Springfields found. There was SMLEs found. There was Mark IVs found. There was Martini Henrys found. I think there was a brown bess even found as well somewhere. So like, there are lunatics out there that will make the stuff, and you can find the stuff. Where have I gone? You can always move. I know a lovely county that has a beefy boys. Yes, I'd be very, very tempted. I would be very, very tempted. But then I couldn't be Air Military Collectibles anymore. I'd have to be Hereford Military Collectibles or something. Yeah, I don't know. I recently bought a deactivated catapult, and the elastic was perished. Hello, Andrew Johnson. Hello, how are you? Andrew has come back from the wars of. Where were you again? Oh, Yorkshire wartime experience. Yorkshire wartime experience. Basically, the ammo is so hard to get that certain calibers are okay to own. No license or storage needed, classified as display items. Well, wall hangers. Martini Henry is one, I believe. Is the Martini Henry classified as um, an obsolete caliber? I suppose it would be. Um, yes, the Martini Henry is ammo hasn't been commercially available for years. Hey Stan, see that's I'm not gonna say what could happen and tell, like, especially on YouTube, but like there are in America and other places I know, rebrassing ammo is what is a big hobby, and it's even nearly a bigger hobby as shooting. Whereas they will get the brass and they'll reload them, obviously. Um, but I don't know. I find it an extremely strange law. Um, Not that there's anything wrong with it. I just find it an extremely strange law because if somebody will say was to get an obsolete rifle, and if they were desperate enough, they could probably get an ammunition for it, if you know what I mean. Uh, we don't rebrass, we reload. Oh well, whatever, reload. Sorry, this old helmet. Sorry, I apologise. Uh, you can reload Martini rounds in the UK, but that's prohibited activity unless licensed. Ah, okay. See, this is what I mean. It's such a weird law. Like you either can have it or you can't have it. It's either activated or deactivated. But it's obviously like the laws in Ireland are really really strict. If Jude was on now, he'd probably be able to tell you better the laws than I am, because Jude is a big um pew pew guy here in Ireland. You can have magazine fed items, but you have to have a limit on the magazines. I think it's 5 rounds. It's either 5 rounds or 10 rounds. I'm not sure. Um, can't be fully pew 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 pew. It can only be pew pew pew. Um, I'm talking in code here now because the last time we were talking about a subject like this, YouTube me for 2 weeks. Um, I'm not sure what the story is with the likes of older generation weapons, but everything has to be licensed. Everything has to be licensed. I'm sure in Ireland you can find a priest and I'm sure in Ireland you can find a priest and contract jackhammer. uh, Sorry, where have I gone? I've missed one. It is odd, especially in the UK, as it must be a lot easier to make ammo rather than reactivate deac. Either way, you're going to jail. So that is yeah, and this like it's a biggie. It's a big thing with even in America, even in Ireland, even like we have really really strict gun laws. People still get unalived, unfortunately, due to firearms and pew pews. Um, the bad guys, no matter what, if they want one, will get one. Same in England. England doesn't have as many firearm or pew pew offences, but they have a lot of knife crime in certain areas. So what do you do? Just ban all knives. Um, so yeah, so like where there's a will, there's a way. If they want to hurt each other, they will hurt each other. If they want to unalive each other, they will unalive each other, no matter what you do. I agree to a certain degree. Now I know this old helmet is here somewhere, and I know I have a lot of American viewers. Look, if you're corpus mentis and you have a brain in your head and you want to have a collection of pew pews and things like that that go bang, um, I don't have an issue with that. No one should have an issue with that. No, and you shouldn't be regular. You should have certain checks to do because obviously they can be a dangerous item if they're in the wrong hands. Um, but where do you stop and where do you start? As in trying to regulate. Okay, yes, you should have a corpus mentis check, a mental health check before you apply for it. Um, You can't have a criminal record, you can't have this, you can't have that. There are requirements that you need, but in having those requirements, will people slip through the net? Yes. So I don't know. I don't know where to go. Um, I understand why, and I understand that it's written into the Constitution of the states, the Second Amendment, um, and I understand why people are very very passionate about it. But by getting rid of stuff for a reason, shall we say, that there's innocent people unalived in a school or a shopping centre or something like that. If that person wanted to carry out that crime with stricter gun laws or with stricter regulations, they'll still do it. They'll still do it. Living History UK, good evening. Steve, it's either Steve or Peter. It's probably Steve because I think he has the code words and passwords for the Living History UK. Multimedia. Peter cannot be trusted with them. Yeah, there we go. Pete cannot be trusted with the passwords. I bought G3 at the last weekend, and I am perfectly set. Exactly. I don't see it wrong. I have one there, but I can't show it on live because I'll get booted again. It's a tough balance between freedoms and safety. Bad people will always find a way to do bad things. Exactly. Nut jobs will always be nut jobs. And the thing is to try and limit the nut jobs getting their hands on the stuff that can cause harm. That's where the issue comes in. I personally don't need a live firearm, DX replicas, etc. Ideal for my exactly. That's it. I mean, like if you're a collector of militaria, is it adequate to have a DX or an airsoft variant or an air or a Denex copy? Perfectly. Some guys just like to have the real things. Understand that myself. I know, like, you have the realists when it comes to collecting and reenacting, that everything must be original, everything must be this way, everything must be that way. We all know them, but let's be real. First of all, for a specific item when you're reenacting, it may not be reproduced. It may be a rare item. So therefore, to get a reproduction is perfectly okay, or a substitute that is close enough to the original. Like I have these. Now I know they're not 100% original, and I know they're not 100% correct, but I got these the other day. They're basically I won't say they're 3/4 legs, but they're long vintage style shorts um, for World War II. And if I get my reference book, which is here somewhere, and this is what it's all about. It's about referencing. It's about learning. It's about looking to see what you can find and what does what you can, and items like that. So here is my reference book. If I try and find the page it is on. Have I gone past it? I believe I have. No, there we go. There we go. Now I know that they not 100% correct around the waist, but we can redo that. So it's basically white t-shirt, blue shorts. They're shorts. These are original shorts. Look. So there you go. There's the reproduction ones, or not the reproduction ones, but the substitute ones that I found. And I believe they will do the trick. So there we go. They're going into my World War II bag until I find a proper pair. So there you go. What did I miss? My eyebrows are a deadly weapon, so I don't need a firearm. I live in Glasgow. I find a clip solves everything. Exactly. Hi guys, hello Dave, how are you? Andrew Johnson. Big fish and chips can be deadly. Uh, Good example of that is the World War II German para helmet. Good repo is 60. Age it myself, and it is a good display area. 9K for an over. Exactly. Like this in collecting or in reenacting, in anything else, these are your best friend reference books. I actually forgot I had this one, and Danny, I was looking for information on my smock. It's not an SAS smock, although it is badged as an SAS smock. It is not specifically made for the SAS. But if I find my reference again, because Danny said it should be in that book that you should have as a reference book. Um, Go look it up. So there we go. Smock. That's the one I have. Right there. There we go. And it is actually. If I look at it here, it is a mountain and cold, which is basically it's a windproof smock. Um, and they were issued to mountain warfare troops, commandos, things like that. The SAS used to get them and paint them. Was how they made their first Denison smocks before the Denisons came along. So yeah, so there you go. You learn something new every day. So reference books in collecting, reenacting, is where to go. That's your big piece of information first. Um, um, and then you need to know, like when you're learning stories or when you want to know more information about an actual subject. So, prime example, we'll just start off. Um, where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? So, prime example. So, reading stories. We want to know stories or how the people lived or things like that. It's a bit harder to further if you go back. But these are two very, very good um, books. If any of you ever come across them, especially Frog Banner, it gives you good stories in them. Force Like No Other, that's the first one, and then you have Force Like No Other is the second one. It comes in two parts, and it's basically real stories from RUC men and women who policed in the Troubles and their stories. And believe it or not, um, a lot of the stories in this are very, very non-biased. Um, there's one guy specifically talking about the Shankill Butchers and how frustrated he was that they couldn't catch them, and what later turned out internal things like that. That there were one guy was being protected by special branch and stuff like that. Um, so they're very, very good books when you want to learn about the people, how the people lived, and obviously you have things like this as well. SAS Rogue Heroes documentary, book, yeah, okay, or not the documentary, but the series. SAS Great Escapes, another one. Um, like it's not just about looking like whatever a UDR man, 1983 in for me anyway personally in Northern Ireland, South Armagh, wherever. Um, you need to know what the history of that time frame, obviously, because people are going to ask you questions, and if you don't know an answer, or if you don't, no, not don't bluff people neither. If you don't make up an answer, um, but try as best you can to make an answer or to try and answer the question. Um, but it's good to learn. It's good to know the history, if you get me. So yeah, that's just my sign of it. 1 second now. I'll just go back up and on here. I have a load of stuff misled. Um, Hi guys, hello Dave. I said that one. Stan's helmet. Fine, thanks. Steel helmet stand. Evening, Dave. Helmet scrim project started today. Oh, very cool. I know you were saying that. The guy on the Tommy book is called Dutch. He now does Romanian civilian and World War II Red Army. Oh, okay, it's interesting. There isn't enough scrim in the world to fit state helmet Stan's head. Oh god, that's slightly true. Sorry, Stan, I didn't mean to laugh there, but I bought a 1968 DPM smock recently that was covered in paint. Uh, there is a way to do it. It depends how thick the paint is. Scratch it off first of all, and then scrub the cheeses out of it. If you can get your hands on Lifebuoy soap, it might work it. Not always, but it might work it. B is a top man, an excellent reenactor. An excellent reenactor. Yeah, I like his books. I like his stuff. Cheers, cheers, Andrew. Mate. Yeah, it's just the thing I have to do more helmets, please. I'm curious what part of a vehicle. What? Don't get that one. Okay, you have it. What part of a vehicle? What vehicle? The biggest bit, a tank. Andrew Johnson got a pair of French Miniere binoculars for £9. They are great, but can't find any info on them. Have you come across them? See, that's it. Resources as well as another one. Try and help each other out. Now, put my books back in the book collection. Sorry, I'm back again. Oh well, it would have to be to fit my love. No, but can look into it. Here's one I have pre-skimming. What is skimming then? Is it Mark 4 or what is it? No. This is my Falklands Para. So what I basically did was just a normal camouflage. Now they stopped doing this after a while because they figured out this can actually melt. So I got a section of a regular camouflage tint or camouflaged. I think it was Dave actually to give me this as well. Piece of camouflage netting, I should say. Jesus, John. Learn what you're saying. Learn to speak correctly. And I got an old general purpose shirt that I didn't have need for anymore, and I cut strips off it to make the scrim. So there you go. So there's your scrim. So that's what I did. I got I think it was Silverman's were selling the rubber bands for like £2 a go, and I have a few of them. For the helmet, and the actual bit underneath is, or the camouflage pattern underneath is actually the hood off of a 68 pattern smock. Is what that is. There you go, and it is a Falklands era para helmet. Now the chin strap has been doctored because the chin strap is just a clip one. Have I got my other para helmet? I do. So that's the clip that's been doctored, right? It should have. This one doesn't have it either, but it should have. In between this one and that one, you would have rings here. Where this is, it should be rings, and you basically slip it through the two rings, and that's your helmet strap. So yeah, so neither of my para helmets have them. Well, this one is a Mark World War. It's you would have seen this actually in the Falklands as well with this helmet strap. Believe it or not, you would have seen something like this because they weren't. This is the para helmet is fiberglass. It's not actually ballistic. It's meant for impacts for parachuting. So this one, believe it or not, the steel one will give you more protection from ricochets than this one will. So an awful lot of guys still in the Second or the Falklands War, especially the older salty buggers, still had their steel pots. um, Hang on a second now. Jim Timber, still in a stand. I'm still watching my neighbour's wife. I'm going to mention that one. Basically, Stan is using the binoculars, or Jim is using the binoculars that Stan gave him for watching somebody. Cheers, Andrew. I'm unsure if they were genuine military. They have central focusing wheel. Doesn't that usually mean non-military? No, I remember ones with central wheel, but that was later on. Maybe in the early ones it didn't have them. Jim Timber, yeah, keep farming some physical tasks to keep. I have some in the collection with the central focus. Well, but Mark 5 NATO helmet for scrim. Okay, I understand now. That net was from the Kent County Show in 1982. I cut it off a really good army surplus stall tent one night. I was a bad person then. So what? Yeah, I know it was you actually to give me that cover. Same as that, I was tried rubbing them. Okay, Andrew, that's good info. Can't remember where I heard that. Military collectibles, historic militaria. Hello, everyone. Still understand. Militaria is part of trade name, meaning that they are suitable for military use, though not a military issued piece, and another words used. Okay. Military collectible. CJ, is that you? Military collectibles, historic militaria. Because if it is, I haven't seen it in a while, CJ, and I hope you're keeping well. I was actually going to send Stan because I know Stan keeps in contact with you. You will have to rub something. Jim, will you get dishonorable discharge? Yep, it's you. So it is CJ. So there you go. So yeah. So there's the para helmet, and that's what the para helmet looks like when it's scrimmed. And to this day as well, actually, I don't have it on this one, but I should have it. The paras on their helmets is sort of like a badge of honor. Goes all the way back to the Second World War. Is the nets on their helmets. Even on the Veritas ones they have now, you will actually see them wearing nets. Because it's sort of like a tradition that they there you go. They all have nets on them. Now this one I got it from the north, and I actually know the story behind it. It's actually an armored helmet. But the paras, if they could get their hands on them, they would rob them because of this chin strap. Obviously, because if you have, sorry, not rob them, tactically relocate them and borrow them. Because if you've got this chin strap, it's a bit of a nuisance to try and get it on and get it off in a hurry. So they would get these ones, and they would, because it's literally just got the one strap that they can throw it on in a hurry and run out, do what they have to do, and especially if they're in like an OP or something like that and it takes fire, that they can just throw on their helmet and go deal with what they have to do. So yeah, there's another little interesting junket of history for you. And I actually heard that from a guy who is a para, that's what they would do. Sorry, Hello, CJ. Hi, CJ. How are you? Everyone's saying hello. Military collectibles, historic military. Cheers, CJ. Yeah, great stuff. I thought they were military styled, which is fine by me. I'm doing a video on them tomorrow, and I can see it. Hello, Jim. So that's it. So, guys, we're up to 45 minutes being on the live stream. So, if any of you want to throw a few questions at me, queries, anything like that, before we finish up for the night, you're more than welcome. If not, I'll give it about 5 or 10 minutes and we will log off. As it is 9 o'clock, well, 8:45. So we're getting back on stream again. Getting back as the way we go. And this is, well, I'm showing my para helmets. I suppose I should throw that one. I need to change the trim strap on this one because it's a bit muck. But this is a reproduction of the in-country para helmets that were turned into riot helmets. You do see them. I have only ever seen one original. Gabriel, who actually made me this, has it, the original, because this is copied off the original. Gabriel reconditions Mark IV helmets, Cromwell helmets, and things like that, and he kindly made me this. I asked him would he make me it, so he made me it. So yeah, so there you go. Yep, that's the word for styled. Looking forward for the video. Yeah, I look forward to that. What shows are you getting to next month in England? I am getting to the We Have Ways show in down around Hereford somewhere. So I'm going over to see Danny. I will be there. It is September 8th and 9th. It's only a 2-day one. Yeah, it's a 2-day one. I will be there for that. And possibly I will try and get back over again in August for another one. Which is the Aidencroft, yeah. And if I get to them, that's me for the end of the year. If not, I will. I hope anyway. So We Have Ways could be my last show this year, or it could be Aidencroft. I'm not sure. Depends how work and life turns out. I'm already planning for next year. Is I want to try and do 2 and 2 because I'm affiliated with 2 groups in the north. I'm affiliated with Andrews, which is the Combined Living History Forces group, and what was the Living History UK Festival. We have joined forces with Les Parachutists, and so I'm going to try and get 2 and 2. So it will be 2 with Les Para and 2 with Combined Living History. So that's the way I'm going to try to do next year, a bit fairer. And I will be going over to Stoneleigh Military Fair as well. So that'll be my. Hopefully, I'll have 5 trips next year. So we'll wait and see. Yeah, you see Loverman and Gertz a lot on eBay. Various sizes of military-styled binos, often advertised as World War II. Also got another DDR passport from 1977. Fella born in 1912 video this weekend, I think. Cool. Very good. And David says cool. So there you go. So guys, so that's it. If that's all you've asked for, questions for me, if all you want to ask me, that's fine. I will love you, I will leave you, and I will see you all next weekend at next live stream at Friday, 8 o'clock. So stay safe, stay capable, and try and stay out of trouble. And have a good one. Have a safe weekend, guys. And keep collecting. And if you're reenacting, keep reenacting. Have a good one, guys.